So one thing I wanted to talk about today was why choose Remax, and why did I choose Remax? And the reason that I did is because it has such a strong brand recognition. And when I got into the business, nobody knew Laurie Ogilvy. Well, people knew Laurie Ogilvy as cleaning teeth. They didn't know Laurie Ogilvy as selling homes. So I chose a brand that would be a powerful brand behind me, because sell the brand first and then learn how to sell yourself. Remax is in 90 countries.
Wow.
There's 90,000 real estate agents that belong to the Remax global brand. 17,000 in Canada alone. Out of the 250 brokerages that were ranked by a very top third-party ranking system, 161 of the top brokerages out of the 250 ranked were all Remax offices.
Wow.
So they definitely dominate the market share. They are ranked #1 for the most qualified and educated and trained agents. They have a fantastic training program, and as you know, I go to Vegas and I do all kinds of things with Remax to constantly keep myself above board and make sure that I'm doing all the newest technologies and everything that's out there and available to Remax as tools. Our site is amazing. If you go on to remax.ca, there is a stager by the name of Carla Wilno, and she has what's called Fit to Sell, and it's a whole bunch of short little video clips, and it's just all little blurbs about staging ideas and how to get your house ready kind of thing. So she's been an excellent tool that we've incorporated with our brand as well. Top countries, these small little tidbits for you. The Global Remax, globalremax.com markets in 34 different languages. It's also the #1 for ethnic branding. The top countries that search on Remax are the US, China, and Canada. And the top 3 countries that are always searched are US, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's the #1 real estate agency that's searched by social media. They also believe in being very strong in the community. I don't know if you've driven downtown Toronto very much lately, but you constantly see billboards for Remax. Choose Remax, choose wisely. You were talking about choose today, and I can think choose wisely, choose Remax. That's a big tagline that Remax has. Park benches, very, very active in the community. Strong funder of the CIBC Run for the Cure, as well as the Yard Sale for the Cure. And also Children's Miracle Network, which is one that's really, really important to me. And of course, the renting is as well. But the Children's Miracle Network, when I sell or purchase a home with people, a portion of my commission goes to the Children's Miracle Network, as well as the CIBC Run Breast Cancer Foundation. When selling your house, choose me. Our office is not a boutique office. There's many, many offices out there. I won't even name names, but when you call into the office, you basically get either an answering machine or you get sort of a main call center that pages out the agent. Our office is functioning 7 days a week. There is always somebody sitting at a desk. So definitely hands-on. The girls in our office definitely know whose listings are whose and can always communicate with our clients. So it is like I do have an admin staff for me, particularly on my listings. So you're not left out in the dark as far as the seller goes. I'm going to focus today more on sellers. I quite often focus more on buyers, but I'm going to focus on the sellers today. So when you list with me, you're not only getting my website, but you're getting remax.ca, you're getting the globalremax.com, as well as our office website. So lots of websites, not to mention where my photographer sends it to, as well as my advertising. My interview with the seller, it includes a needs assessment, marketing, pricing, prep work, negotiation, and full reliability from contract to closing. And I think any of you that have worked with me know that I am there every step of the way. And I do get text messages at 10:30 at night, just like the lovely people here. My checklist on getting your home ready is to make sure that it's buyer ready before it actually hits the market. I want to minimize any objection whatsoever that we can get from the buyer, because what that means is dollars lost in your pocket at the end of the day. So let's minimize the objections by doing these steps. Very simple. I'm a real big, and buyer people will definitely definitely agree with me when I say this. I'm huge on odor when I go into a home.
Yes.
You can tell if there's a pet living in the house right off the bat. If you have pets and you can have your pets move out while you're trying to sell your home, ideal. That would be wonderful. All the little kitty litter and blood nuggets that are left around the house, definitely to get them all shifted out, because that is a buyer objection, especially if people think they're allergic but they're not really. They think they're going to be allergic in that house, even if they're not. That goes into their brains. So eliminating odors of pets, odors of food smell. Try and do all your fancy cooking after your house is sold, not before. Depersonalizing everything, making sure the curb appeal, first impression is paramount. People know 15, 20 seconds, they like it or they don't like it. First impression is amazing. Flooring, making sure the flooring is all kept intact, top to bottom, really, when you walk in. If the floor is looking tatty and dirty and everything else, it's a reflection of how the rest of the house probably is being perceived by the people. Having a pre-home inspection, excellent tool. Definitely minimizes anything. Kwong was kind to help me when I listed this last home, just to come in and even familiarize myself with the wiring and just making sure things are up to date. Just all the little questions that you're going to get from the savvy buyers that are out there today. Paint, make sure all touch-ups, there's not, what do you call it, that magic eraser. Amazing stuff for just getting scuffs and things like that along the walls, just so it doesn't look worn. Decluttering, doing a little bit of updating here and there that's minimal in your pocketbook, and that could be even just changing lampshades, pillows. Those little accents can make a huge, huge difference. The largest challenge you have today in today's market, and what I'm finding is happening a lot, is I'm finding that the sellers and the buyers are from two different generations. So, and especially when you're buying in an older neighborhood, you've got younger buyers that want the trees in the backyard like they had when they were younger, but you've got the older folks selling the property that haven't updated. They lovingly have maintained it. They're making cabinets. Right? But
my parents,
today's buyer, and my parents are the same way. I mean, my dad knows everything about that house, how it ticks. It is tickety-boo. There's a noise, it's fixed, whatever. But it's their furniture, their stuff, their carpet choice, whatever. And so today's buyer coming in there, you put a price tag on the area, but you get nailed because it's not what today's younger generation buyer wants to buy. So that's the biggest challenge I'm finding in my business right now, is that you're dealing with people that have their heart and souls in the house, and they've got the neighborhood in the area, but we have to adjust the pricing in order to sell it, because the buyer coming in is saying such insulting things to these poor people who've lived there 30 years. So it's a tough grind right now in the market. So what you need to do is try and find your target audiences where you're going to advertise to. I just sold a house in an area where I had the Chinese newspaper coming after me. It's a huge Chinese market. So the Chinese newspaper wanted me to be in their paper. God, I can't even talk to these people.
Just smile.
So that's kind of it, talking about getting your home ready. I know I've sort of talked about that before. Talking to you a little bit about the challenges that I have in my business. It's not all rosy. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but you have challenges like this with people, and you have to keep it intact all the time. I know you always like to know sort of what's happened in the housing market in the last year. So from August to this August last year, 2012, sales have been up by 21%. So August last year, we've done 21% better this year. And the price growth has gone up about in the same time frame, the August of last year to August this year, they've gone up 5.5%. So we are still seeing a steady growth pattern. It's not like it was. It's not a crazy, insane, gotta get it or it's gonna fly off the shelf multiple offer market. But it's definitely moving, but buyers are definitely more savvy than they used to be. And generations, I think, is the biggest challenge we're having right now, other than when you're looking at the condo market and that kind of thing. That's a whole different kettle of fish. But I'm finding homes in the western area, that would be the biggest challenge that we're finding right now. Does anybody have any questions? You do.
Maple cabinets.
Maple cabinet. Yes.
I've been buying a house.
Yes.
Okay. I bought a house based on the look, maybe, the maple cabinets, not the maple cabinets, but nicer cabinets or whatever, you know. Should you consider that or should you not? Does that add value when
Depends
you're
on
ready
how
to sell the
long you're
house?
going to keep the house.
Okay, if it's a fairly new house, you sell it in 5
Fairly,
years.
you know what, you get the trends of what's going on at the time when you're purchasing. Trying to keep it as neutral as possible. Like really trying not to go with anything that is going to be out of style in the next 3 or 4 years if you're not planning to stay there a long time. If you're planning this is our home and we're going to be here a long time, okay, fine. But if you're thinking of buying it and not staying there for long, you got to know your time frame when you're making that purchase. If the time frame is shorter, then definitely pick something that is way more neutral. One thing I would say for people to definitely upgrade on a new purchase, and you don't want to buy a new purchase, you want to buy a resale, I know that. But new purchases, if you can do the wood staircase versus the carpeted staircase, that seems to be a really big thing to people. Gives them the option if they want to carpet it and cover over it, great. But if not, they want to put a runner down or they're just really opposed to having carpeting in the house. It is an upgrade, but I'd say it's one of the smartest upgrades that you can make. It gives substance to the house for some reason. People always want to know what's under that staircase. So if you were thinking about buying something new, that would definitely be a consideration I would be recommending you to make. Of course, going more to the granite countertops, stone countertops versus the normal arborite, that kind of thing. That's also an upgrade that I definitely think would be worth your while in doing. Kitchens and bathrooms, always, you can't go wrong having something best in kitchens and bathrooms. Today, obviously, glass and porcelain are all the big years ago. That was not so much, but those are all things that are selling featured. People can update their kitchen and bathrooms. That's definitely going to get their money back. Paint is a simple fix, but absolutely amazing, and accessories to help the paint.
I have a question. Is it true that when MLS hits public,
Yeah.
it's after, like I heard that if you hire an agent, they have their own private, like the MLS does not hit public until after the agents do it amongst
Yeah, it
themselves.
doesn't usually go live on public MLS
Yeah,
until about
months
24 hours or so before it actually comes live. So it comes, if you're getting feeds from your real estate agent, it comes to you automatically as soon as it's uploaded on our system. It's coming from your realtor.
Yeah.
But if you're just going on to realtor.ca, it won't be on there probably for about 24 hours. So people that are working with an agent, one of the benefits to work with an agent is you're getting the listing right off the bat. Whereas if you're waiting for shopping on your own, waiting for it to hit realtor.ca, it could already be sold if it's that hot of a property. It's 24 hours later.
Which is
You said real estate went up 5.5% this year.
Yeah.
What about condos? Did you separate that out? Did they go down?
Condos, no, they haven't actually gone down.
No.
I thought that they would have too, but they actually have not. And they're sort of staying at about a 4%. They're not at a 5.5, they're probably about a 4%. And I'm surprised with the saturation, but they're doing okay. They're just more days on market, but they're still selling.
And are they renting, Rachel?
Yeah, still renting. Yeah. There's a lot of people that have bought condos in Square One area that are still renting out really well, so.
Is the condo, when you're referencing the condo, is it condo and condo townhomes, or is that separate?
Condo buildings.
Buildings, all right.
Yeah. Townhouses are kind of classed almost in the housing market.
Okay.
But here we don't have as much of a worry being in the GTA because we have so many immigrants coming daily to our area that cannot afford. They don't have the presence in our country yet in order to establish credit to purchase something. So rental is, especially where you're in a hub where there's transportation, which is why people want to invest in condo markets where it's all accessible without a car. That would be the strongest point you could make when you're looking for an investment, would be somewhere where you don't need a car and there's volume. Because immigrants coming to our country, which we have many, and we have the largest population of them coming in, that's what they're going to be looking for. So that's your highest rental.
I have another question. There's a lot of people now trying to sell on their own.
Oh yeah.
And so we have
I had one of those things on selling their own on their own.
And that's what I was thinking. I have people come say, I'm going to try selling on my own. So if I'm going to try to dissuade them from selling on their own to you, how would you like me to respond.
Usually what happens is they usually make more money than with the real estate agent because definitely they're getting way more exposure. I mean,
Yes.
where are they going to advertise that and there's a lot of agents that will not show a for sale by owner house. Number one, if they're not on like a property guide that has a little website for them, there's a lot of people that just simply won't go in and deal with that person.
And I've
had more of them in the last year and a half that I've actually had to connect with. And actually go in and ask them, are they cooperating with agents? And if they're not, then I'll say, I'm not going to show my buyer your property then. So you're losing because I'm going to show that one down the street.
Have you ever had a home where they tried to sell it by themselves and then you took over and then they got? Have you ever had anyone that tried to sell it by themselves first?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Oh, I bet you
Yeah, I had a
have.
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
She totally was going to go with me. He was going to do it himself because he sold before.
Yeah.
And I sold her house in 2 days.
Yes.
And he sat there for 2 or 3 weeks and held his own open houses. And he was like, Ogilvy, get over here. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that happens to us.
Yeah.
We tried to sell a condo maybe 7 years ago. We had it on the market for 3 months by ourselves.
Yeah.
Then she went with an agent. First person she bought within 3 days.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good idea. It's marketability. You have to reach as many people as you can.
I think it's
And you can't do that by
credibility,
doing it by yourself.
That too.
Right, right. But usually there's more money, and even though after commission, they usually make more money selling through a realtor than they will on their own because people are going to come in and nickel and dime them down.
Plus, they don't value the property.
Right.
Because they always value up high, because everybody wants to sell the highest price they want.
Well,
But
and
it's not
actually, I had
market.
my own buyers. They thought they were being so wonderful, poor things. I left them alone on one weekend, and they went out to open houses themselves, and they hit one of those concrete people.
Yeah.
And they thought they were doing the top-notch negotiating, and I have a buyer agency, which says, that I'll be paid 2.5% when you purchase through me. And if there's a default, then you'll be paying the 2.5% to me, which I've never had to do, by the way, but it's there because I can't take people around for 6 months and not get paid.
right.
Anyways, they knew that was on the contract. They go to the concrete guy, and the concrete guy is listed higher than the other 2 places we looked at in the same complex. Listed higher, and they said, well, would you negotiate a price? Because they're doing the negotiation. They came up with a price amongst them, and they said, and we'll pay our realtor because we have a contract. So they tell me, so this is what we negotiated. Can we go see it with you today? I'm like, you told me you're going to pay me. Why did you do that? I want them to pay me, not you to pay me.
Yeah.
Stuck like mud. That's what that person said. Your client said they would pay you, not me. So that became the bone of contention. It was a crappy place when I actually went in it. They were asking more than the other 2 we looked at. They're just looking for the sucker,
Yeah.
right? People think they're going to save money because they're not paying any commission and they're on a concrete sign. Anyway, we didn't end up buying that place, but buyers on their own on weekends are kind of scary. And they really thought that they could negotiate this, and they were going to come out spending way more money on this place than they would have on the place that was listed by an agent. I wouldn't be able to pay. Wow. Yeah. Use an agent. Use an agent. Use an agent. And I've had people actually that call me when I'm selling, and they want to know if I'll work both ends and not pay the other 2.5%. And I'm like, why would I do that? Because now I have liability to 2 people. But I'm only getting paid by 1. Why would you work the whole end for free? Because it's a liability issue for me. And I know I'm the only realtor here, so I'm going to be making sure everything's flowing in that contract. So I'm once again doing twice the work.
Right.
So all kinds of things happen with our commission, definitely. But that video is priceless. It's totally the day in the life of Laurie.